Hello guys, welcome to this video. Today in this video we will be going to discuss about some HSE mathematics, HSE calculations. So why this video is important? Because these calculations you can be going to see in your higher certifications. Maybe you can expect this some sort of scenarios or some kind of questions in your CSP preparations and also in your job location. So in this today's video we'll be going to see these two main topics. We will be going to discuss about the safe man hours. We will be seeing what is safe man hours and how to calculate it. And there will be another video in which we will be seeing a set of examples, especially working out how to work out the safe man hours. And followed by we will be going to see the frequency rate versus the incident rate. Frequency rate versus incident rate. We'll be going to see also the severity rate, and we will be discussing how to calculate these different rates using different examples. So why we have decided to do this video is there are many videos available on internet, but there is no proper explanation. There are some sort of confusions running around, like how we are getting the different factors which are there in the calculation. So in this video I'm damn sure it will resolve your all queries, and some of our companions have requested for this video, so that is the reason we came up with this video. So let us start without any delay. So here is what we will be going to see. The first is the total safe man hours calculation. We have to see the safe man hour calculation, which is the basic for which is the main basic pillar of the HSE. So everyone must know about the safe man hours, how to calculate it. So a simple safe man hours you will be calculating by using the formula number of workers who are working on that project, the number of hours they have worked. You have to multiply also with the number of days they have worked. So this is a very simple man hour calculation which we have given as point A. So the next question is, what about the overtime? How if there is overtime involved, how you will be calculating it for the simple man's hour calculation? So in case of overtime, what we will be going to see is we have to calculate the overtime of man hours separately. So we'll be putting it as point B, and we'll calculate it using the formula number of workers on overtime, number of overtime hours, and for number of days the overtime has done. So in this way you will be getting the overtime man hours, which is denoted as B. So in last, guys, still here the things are very clear. So now the total man hours will be A plus B. A means the normal man hours, right? The simple man hours which we calculated, plus the B will be the overtime man hours. So it will give you A plus B, which will be the total man hours. I think it is very clear. Now we will be seeing, let us understand the frequency, incident and severity. These terms are very important because you will be seeing this kind of terms in your job site. If you are especially into HSE engineer positions or upward in the hierarchy. So like you will be going to see these terms, the frequency rate, sometimes it is also known as LTI, lost time injury frequency rate, total recordable injury frequency rate, or AFR, which is accident frequency rate. Incident rate, also sometimes known as the accident incident rate, lost time injury incident rate. Then you will be going to see with us the severity rate, accident severity rate, and lost time severity incident rates. So this will be the different terms which we'll be going to see in today's video, and we will be going to see the different examples, like how to solve these terms in real time. So let us before we move into that, I will give you a description about what these terms are. So when you talk about the frequency rate, friends, the frequency rate is always about the work related injuries which happen in your site to the total number of man hours which work there, right? And the incident rate, when you consider it, will be like again the total number of work related injuries which will be considered against the number of persons who are employed in the site. average persons, maybe you can say. And when you talk about the severity rate, generally when you talk about the severity rate, it is like the number of days lost divided by the number of injuries which happen inside. But officially, or like the companies, or as per the standard, when we talk about the accident severity rate and all our LTSAR, we will calculating it as the number of days lost, like the how many days production was lost to the total man hours which are worked in the company. So let us make it very simple. We will be seeing the first one, which is the important one. Sorry, the important calculations at job, the heading. We will be seeing the accident frequency rate. So we will see how we can calculate the accident frequency rate at your company. So the formula will be the number of work-related injuries into factor. We will be talking about this factor divided by the total number of man hours which are worked. So what is this factor? This factor is very confusing, because most of the time I have seen many people used to ask about these factors. What is this factor? How it's put into this formula? So this factor, actually it is a standard which is different for different professional bodies, different companies. Even like in OSHA, if you see, this factor is you can say 200,000, you can say, right? And like how they are getting this factor is, you have to understand this concept. OSHA, for all their calculations, they consider it based on the 100 employees for 2000 hours per year. This is the standard which is set by the OSHA for all their calculations. So like for 100 employees, if they work for 2000 hours per year, then obviously when you multiply it, you will get this factor, which is 200,000, I must say. So this is the reason this factor, when you will see this factor into all OSHA calculations. We will see in our next slides. And for other companies, and sometimes you can say, like even in your company, some people have seen the calculation. Some people have seen using the value of the 1 million. Some people have seen like 1 million, which is also considered as 10 P6, which is like I used to call it as 10 power 6. Like you can say, right, there are 1 2 3 4 5 6 6 zeros are there. So it is like you can say 1000. You can say 10 to the power P6, sorry, 1 million. And in some companies, you can see the power, it is 10 to the power 5, like it will be followed by the 5 zeros. So it is like 1 lakh, you can say, in Indian figure. So when you talk about IS 386, Indian Standard 386, if you consider like most of the companies, they will be considering it for the 500 employees. They use this factor for the 500 employees as a standard, and then when they calculate it will be coming as like 500 employees for 40 hours in a week work, and 50 weeks per year. Like there is total 52 weeks which comes in a year, but standardized, and it is taken as the 50 weeks per year. So when you multiply this, you will be getting the factor like 1 million, which you will be getting, which is 10 to the power P6. So this is the reason, this is how the factors are taken. So for every company, it will vary. In our company, like we used to go for the 10 to the power 5, like you can see 1 followed by the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 figure, right? It varies. That is the thing. So accident frequency rate, how you will be considering, how you will calculate it, we will be seeing it as an example. Like consider a company where 100 employees work for 8 hours for 26 days, and there were 2 accidental injuries which were reported. So calculate the accident frequency rate for this scenario. So how will you calculate the accident frequency rate? We have already seen the formula, which will be the number of work-related injuries multiplied by the factor. So like in our company, we are considering it as 100,000, which is as I said 10 power 5 divided by the total number of man hours worked. So here the total man hours will be, how you will be calculating the total man hours, we have already seen, right? So number of days, how many? 26 multiplied by the working hours 8, and how many employees work, so it is 100. So when you multiply, you will get this figure 20,800. Now you have to put this figure into the main formula. So it will be calculated as AFR, which is accident frequency rate, will be calculated as number of work related injuries multiplied by the factor. So here how to 2 comes. So this is the 2 accidental injuries. So 2 multiplied by 100,000 divided by this total manhour. So it will give you the accident AFR rate of 9.6 for this much hours. Okay, so this is very clear. So now we will be seeing the next, we will be seeing what we have, like we will be seeing the next important term, which is accident incident rate. So regarding the accident incident rate, as I informed you, like it is the number of work injuries in your site for the versus the average number of persons who worked in the site multiplied by 1000. It is always accident incident rate is considered for the 1000. The standard they are taking is, it is a permanent standard which is taken as the 1000 per employees. So the next confusion may be like, what is the average number of persons? Like average number of persons means average number of persons who are working in stipulated days divided by the total days. For example, you have total 26 days, right? So in first day, if 100 people have worked, in the next 2 day 50 people is worked. Like that, you have to calculate up to 26 days. So for 26 days, you have to calculate the average number of persons. So how you will be calculating, right? 100 plus 50 plus whatever, that up to 26, how many persons are there, you have to add them and you have to divide them by the 26, right? So you will be getting the what we say, the average persons. So this is what the average persons is, and this average persons you have to implement it here in this formula. So let us see another example and understand it very clearly. So calculate the accident incident rate for a company where average number of persons working for 26 days were 100. So they have already mentioned here, like the average number of persons are already mentioned, but in your exams and in your scenarios, you have to calculate the average number of persons based on the list or based on the data which are available from your site. So here for the easiness, I have already calculated for you, like average number of persons are mentioned as 100 for 26 days and 1 injury was reported. So the AIR, which is the accident incident rate in this case, will be the number of reported injury was 1 multiplied by for the 1000 persons, right, divided by the total number of average persons, which is 100. So when you input it into this, you will be getting the accident incident rate is 10 for the 1000 employees. This is what the accident incident rate is. Now let us see the next one, accident severity rate, which is very important. So normally, as I said in the beginning, normally when you calculate the severity rate, when you talk about what is severity rate, it is like the number of days, production days lost divided by the total number of LTIs, the injuries which happen in a company. But to categorize, like these values will differ, right? And to considering the industrial standards, the companies are using this formula for the accidental severity rate is as the number of days which are lost multiplied by 10 to the power 6 divided by the total man hours worked. So this is how the accident severity rate is calculated. The number of days, how many days were lost multiplied by 10 to the power 6, which is 1 million for 1 million work hours divided by the total man hour worked. So when you put it into this formula, you will get the accident severity rate. So let us see the example and understand it. So in previous examples which we have seen, like we have calculated the man hours, total man hours worked and all. So in previous examples where you got the manpower, calculate the ASR for them. You have to calculate the accident severity rate for the total 2 days lost at work. So in so you have to consider if there were total 2 days lost at work, then how you will be implementing the accident severity rate. So it's very simple. So as per the formula, we have seen, right, in the formula it is the number of days lost multiplied by 10 raised to 6 divided by the total man hour worked. So we'll be seeing it, the number of days lost is 2 into the 1 million divided by the total man hours which we have calculated in our earlier slides. So when you put it there, it will be 96.15 as the accident severity rate. So this is what the very common examples for the severity rate, the frequency rate, and the incident rate. So let us now see the other calculations for the reference purpose. We'll be seeing. So this is for the information saving purpose. Like we have OSHA recordable incident rate. You may come across this term, which is OSHA recordable incident rate, and how it is calculated. It is like number of OSHA recordable cases multiplied by 200,000. We have already seen how it comes, divided by the number of employee labors worked, like manpower worked. Then again in OSHA we have another term, which is the lost time case rate, LTC. In some companies use this term. So LTC rate is calculated by the number of lost time cases, how many lost time cases were reported, into 200,000 divided by the number of employees who have worked there. This is the these are the some calculations which may be useful for you. And in their last, the DART rate, which is days away restricted job transfer rate, which is calculated by the total number of DART incidents which is reported, multiplied by 200,000 divided by the total number of employee labor hours. So this is how you calculate the different calculations. And yeah, I forget to mention about one more thing. Like we have seen some terms, like we have seen LTIFR, right? We have seen lost time injury frequency rate and total recordable injury frequency rate. So in LTIFR, it will be like normal lost time injuries only. But when you talk about the total recordable injury frequency rate, it includes all the fatalities, other than the other accidents, everything. We have to calculate the frequency rate for them also. So most probably or most frequently, these terms are used in company like LTIFR, because they don't want to show the huge damages to their clients, right? So that is the reason most of the companies will go for the LTIFR, that's lost time injury frequency rate. Total recordable injury frequency rate is not that much used as per my knowledge, but LTIFR is always used in most of the scenario. And what else? We have some country standards. And finally, here friends, we will conclude this video session by discussing about the different country codes and how they are using different methods. So if you put your light into Singapore side, you can see Singapore's Ministry of Manpower defines the frequency rate as the number of accidents per 1 million hours worked. So in case of Singapore, you can see they are using the same 10 raised to P6 power factor. And if you see the USA, you can see the US Occupational Safety and Health Administration defines incident rate as the number of injuries per illness multiplied by 200,000, which is like we have seen for the OSHA rate. So and they have also said, like they have shown here, like for 200,000 it represents the equivalent value of 100 employees which are working for 40 hours per week and 50 weeks per year. So this is how different countries work. And finally we have one more, the UK. Well, regarding if you come to UK, then you can see the UK's Health and Safety Executive defines lost time accident as those that result in more than 1 day of lost time, and FR is based on 12-month rolling period and is calculated per 10 to the power 5. So this is what we are using in our company, like 1 followed by the 5 zeros working hours. So which is the NIBO standard. So this is what different countries are following in their standards. So this is how we will be concluding today's part 1 of the video. Like we have discussed about the frequency rates, incident rates, we have discussed about the severity rate. In the next video we will be going to see more other formulas. We will be seeing the other formulas, the weight loads, capacities. Similarly we will be seeing some advanced formulas which you can expect in your higher certifications. So I hope all of you have enjoyed this video, so stay tuned for the next one.